David Locke, and this is my blog, Boots and Bow Ties, and welcome to my garden, y'all. Today I'm going to be planting 20 roses, and this is my prepared bed. You can take a look at my blog about how we put a lot of cow manure, dolomitic limestone, and agricultural grit into this land, but I'm going to show you how to plant bare-rooted roses. It's late February here, and believe it or not, even though it's the end of winter, it's time to start getting your roses in the ground. So I've got 20 bare-rooted roses here, and you can see this is what a bare-rooted rose looks like. It essentially has these candles of twigs. It has what's called a crown, which is a graft union. You can see it's a swollen area, and it's been grafted to rootstock. And then it has these bare roots. And why do I have all of these containers around? Well, one of the things you have to do before you put bare-rooted roses in the ground is you have to soak them for a full 48 hours in water, and that makes sure that their roots are nice and moisturized and nothing's dehydrated. It'll give them a much better chance of surviving when we get them planted. Next, I'm going to show you how to dig and prepare the hole and how we actually plant them. Let me show you a quick way to make sure your holes are straight. You don't have to get out of tape. One of the things you can do is you can simply use your shovel or rake, and you can just simply look and see that your hole is this far away from the edge. And then again, you can make sure that your second hole is this far away from the edge. And in that way, you can make sure all of your holes are completely straight. Here in just a second, I'll show you how we plant up close all of our roses. Okay, so we've dug a hole here, and we've dug it really nice and deep, about twice as deep and twice as wide as we need. And I've got my bare root rose here. I've got my nice candles, my graft union, and we want to make sure that crown is above the soil. And you can see here's our nice roots. So the first thing we're going to do, because this is such horrible clay soil, is I'm going to add a drainage aggregate. So I've got some just drainage stone, and I'm going to fill the bottom of that hole with some nice drainage stone. And then I'm going to start backfilling, just making sure to break that clay up and make it as friable as I can into my hole. Gosh, it's really clumpy. We've had record rains here over the last few days and few weeks. And then I'm just going to begin making a little cone to put my rose on. And that should work pretty good. And I'm also going to look and see, make sure it's above the soil level. Now, I'm just going to kind of hold this, and I'm going to begin taking it in with a little bit more soil. Then I'm going to get my assistant here to help hold this. It really helps if you have another hand. And then we're going to take some just really good garden soil. It has a lot of organic matter. We're going to begin putting that around the roots. And that'll really help it get a good start in this heavy clay soil. Then I'm going to mix it with a little bit more clay soil. Just mixing it around. And then I'll begin tamping it. You can also mix in some Osmocote or a slow release fertilizer at this point. And then I'll put a little bit more garden soil. And then when we get that all mixed around, I'll take my foot and I will tamp it down real nicely. And then we'll top dress that again with a little bit more soil. So now what I'm doing is I'm using the end of a shovel or a pitchfork and just going through and compacting the soil. Now, you never want to do this when the soil is incredibly wet, because you could take out all of the little air pockets and you could cause the plant actually to suffocate. But we want to make sure it's well tamped. Then I'm just going to simply go back around again and put a little bit more clay, backfill that, and have it nicely top dress. And there you have your nicely planted rose. Now I'm just watering in my roses, a good gallon or two on each one of them. Just make sure they're watered in really well. For all of the tips on how to plant your rose garden, go to my blog at bootsandbowties.com.